defeat. It's a gentler moon. Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, you carry our dream. A beacon shining where hope has been. From the mountains to the shore, the people stand ready to rebuild this blessed land.
Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, we believe, we'll come to home.
Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, you carry our dream.
Chiroma,
a beacon shining and where hope has been. From the mountains to the shore, the people stand ready to rebuild this blessed land.
Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, light the way home for every child of Cameroon.
43 years the river has flowed. Same bank, same stone, same winding road. But the youth are calling with voices loud, breaking through the grey morning cloud. The land is tired, the people are strong, waiting, praying it won't be long. One man stepped from the halls of power to stand with us in this urgent hour. Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, you carry our dream. A beacon shining where hope has been. From the mountains to the shore, we raise our prayer that change will come and justice be fair.
Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, light the way home for every child of Cameroon.
In every village, every crowded street, hearts are pounding with history's beat. The hands that built this nation cry for schools that teach, for truth not lies, for bread on tables, for work and pride, for leaders who will walk beside, not above us, not beyond our reach, but one who practices what they preach. Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, you carry our dream. A beacon shining where hope has been. From the mountains to the shore, we raise our prayer that change will come and justice be fair.
Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, light the way home for every child of Cameroon.
To the elder who has served so long, your chapter's written, your story strong. Find your ease now in honor and grace. Pass the torch to a younger face. Let Cameroon remember you, not for holding on, but letting through. The dawn that's breaking, the hope reborn. This is not defeat, it's a gentler moon. Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, you carry our dream. A beacon shining where hope has been. From the mountains to the shore, the people stand ready to rebuild this blessed land.
Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, we believe, we'll come to home.
Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, you carry our dream.
Chiroma,
a beacon shining and where hope has been. From the mountains to the shore, the people stand ready to rebuild this blessed land.
Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, light the way home for every child of Cameroon. Oh, oh.
43 years the river has flowed. Same bank, same stone, same winding road. But the youth are calling with voices loud, breaking through the grey morning cloud. The land is tired, the people are strong, waiting, praying it won't be long. One man stepped from the halls of power to stand with us in this urgent hour. Chiroma, oh, Chiroma, you carry justice be fair.
Chiroma, oh Chiroma, light the way home for every child of Cameroon.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Open Mic. Open Mic, of course, with yours truly, Chris Anu, from the great state of Texas, Houston, Texas, precisely. Please, thank you for tuning in tonight. I'd like you to go ahead and hit your share button if you are watching by way of the social media. And if you are watching by way of YouTube, also go ahead, hit your like and the subscribe button so you are always on hand to receive the first notifications when we come on live. Again, this is Open Mic, and I guess you all know what Open Mic is all about. Open Mic is about you, not me. I get your monologue, and you get my talking points. That is what Open Mic is all about. So thank you once more for tuning in. Please go ahead, hit your share button. Coming up quite late in the Cameroon and all of Africa, including where we call the Federal Republic of Amazonia. It is 10:03 p.m. And here in Texas, I think the time should be 3:04 p.m. So please, I come to you with the usual excitement, inspiration, education, and of course, entertainment. There is no TV without entertainment, even if all is news. It's all about entertainment, inspiration, and education. That is what TV is about. Go ahead, hit your share button. I'm going to be back in less than a minute, and when I come back, I'll be telling you what this show today will be talking about. Please stay put and don't touch your remote.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once more, thank you for tuning in tonight to be part of this Open Mic. Again, Open Mic, I listen to you more than I speak. But tonight, I'm going to present to you a talking point. I call it a talking point of the day to set the pace, to set the agenda of what I have to discuss today. I come to you with two things tonight, two subjects to discuss. Number one, Atanga Nji is out with another hypnosis for Cameroonians. Atanga Nji has announced that they are creating more divisions, more councils, or administrative units in La République du Cameroon. And it begs for the question. That begs for the question. When you cannot even maintain the present administrative units that you have, how do you think about going out to create more of them? More of them. That is going to be the main subject of my analysis, commentary today, ladies and gentlemen. And I'd like you to join me at the end of the day, of course, with your phone calls. Once after my monologue, you can go ahead, stop me, ask questions, make contributions on the subject. I will also be discussing something that the U.S. administration has done against Tanzania. Guess why? Because of the violence and the fraud that took place in Tanzania during the, I think, October 24 elections. And my question is, why can't the U.S. do that against Cameroon? If the U.S. is sanctioning Tanzania and deciding to sever relationship with Tanzania, how come the U.S. is not doing the same thing against Cameroon for a dictator who has been in power for 43 years? Not only 43 years, maybe if he was in power for 43 years and he is only 50 and he is only, say, 70 years old, that would make a lot of sense. But the man is 93 years, ladies and gentlemen. The man is 93 years, and in the USA, they would not allow Joe Biden, who was only, was he 76 or so, to lead. Yet, in Cameroon, Paul Biya is 92, has ruled for 43 years already. And it would surprise me if the U.S. doesn't do anything, if they can go as far as severing ties with Tanzania. Those are the two subjects that I come to you tonight to discuss. Before I take you to my subject with the creation of new councils and divisions in Cameroon as touted by Paul Atanga Nji, I'd like to show you the conditions of the towns and cities that Paul Atanga Nji want to further fragment to create what you call more administrative districts. Now, as a responsible parent, you have a household. You realize that you cannot maintain the number of people that you have at home. Let's say there are 3 of you at home, and paying the bills is becoming really a difficult thing. You're not able to effectively feed the 3 of you who are already in the house. Even if you are forced to take 2 more people into your household, common sense tells you, hey, I am not able to feed the 3 that is already here. How can I take 2 or 3 more to add to what is already here, which I cannot take care of? That is what common sense tells you. You will refuse to bring in any addition into your home because you know you are not able yet to take care of it. Again, that is what common sense tells every responsible father, every responsible family head. Unfortunately, in Cameroon, the administrators do not have this common sense. Well, they may have the common sense, but they do not think logically like somebody, a head of a family, who knows that he already has so much responsibility to go out and look for more. Cameroon administrators do not think this way. When they do, when they think, they are thinking of how they can pacify people or pretend that something is happening, progress is happening, development is happening, and then, but all that is to woo the people, the gullible, the naive, and to please the elite that rule the country. That is what happened in Cameroon. So, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Atanga Nji sent out a statement to all their governors in the country, including those in Ambazonia. Now they've forgotten that their colonial administrators in Ambazonia no longer have a free hand, free control over the territory of the southern Cameroons. Whatever the case, Paul Atanga Nji sends out a committee instructing these governors to hastily, quickly forward to him in Yaoundé communities, divisions that the governors think are so large, so big to govern, so that they can create more administrative headquarters. For example, they can pick up Mezam and create more subdivisions inside Mezam, or maybe even divide Mezam into two, create another division out of Mezam entirely. Go to Donga Mantung, do the same. Go to Bui, do the same. But you know how they do this, right? In Cameroon, when you are not a county or a division, as they call it, that is cooperative. Everything they do it to punish you. So, for instance, it has been said again and again. It has been said again and again that the reason why they abandoned Bamenda is because Bamenda is a troublesome territory, is a troublesome community, and so let's leave it to them. Let them die with their bad roads. Let them die without infrastructure, without electricity, and you can name the rest. That is why we are told Bamenda is abandoned. That is why Bamenda is abandoned. So in Cameroon, you know that when they distribute national wealth, what they do is they distribute it according to the district areas that are loyal to the central regime, to the CPDM. And if you are a troublesome community like Bamenda, maybe like the BLM, they say, we don't care about you, you can rot in hell. So that is what this thing about the creation of new divisions in Cameroon is all about. I just spoke with somebody who is very injected into territorial administration in Yaoundé. And I have been told this morning, let me look at that note. I was told this morning that in the southern zone, I mean, they call it the southwest, the communities, the districts that they are going to divide, the Ministry of Territorial Administration led by Paul Atanga Nji, they are going to break down Manu. They will break down Fako and Meme in the southern zone, create more divisions and more subdivisions in Meme, in Fako, and in Manu. Coupe Mwandinguba is not mentioned. The BLM is not also mentioned. Fako, Meme, Manu are the ones we are told will be split or fragmented further in the name of creating new administrative districts or councils or divisions, as they call it over there. That is what is happening. We do not know yet the affected places in the northern zone of Ambazonia. So, but we know that in the southern zone, Atanga Nji is plotting to divide Fako, Meme, and Manu. Indian is not mentioned. Le BLM is not mentioned. Coupe Mwaneguba is not mentioned, but Fako, Meme, Manu. Now, you know that these places are very cooperative. They are very, very cooperative. I asked my insider the question, what criteria are they using to create these new divisions and councils, or we call it counties and local government area? I am told that they are going by the population size, the land size, and available infrastructure. Take note of the last one. available infrastructure. That is the criteria they are using to create these new administrative units, or call them councils and divisions as they do. The criteria is land size, population size, and infrastructure. Now, I say you should take note of infrastructure, because you ask yourself, is there any infrastructure anywhere in that country? You answer that question by yourself. Is there anything like infrastructure in all of Cameroon? Forget about Ambazonia. Is there any infrastructure there to warrant the creation of more administrative units, councils, divisions, and so on? Is there any infrastructure? And if there is no existing infrastructure, if I were the head of a household and I cannot feed my 3 family, what I will do is, instead of bringing in more members into the household, I will try first to work more money, raise more money, begin to take care of the 3 that I already have, before making more money and bringing in more people. So for La République du Cameroon, they say they are creating more divisions, more councils, based on land size, based on population and infrastructure. But I ask them, where is that infrastructure in the first place? Where is the infrastructure? It doesn't exist anywhere. And I thought, before I bring you my talking point on this subject, let me show you, ladies and gentlemen, what exists in the southern Cameroons. What Cameroon, Paul Atanga Nji, they are calling infrastructure. Look at Bamenda, for example. That is Bamenda. Look at the streets. I think that is the famous T junction along at the end of the Commercial Avenue. That is the famous T junction in Bamenda, ladies and gentlemen. So when you look at that, that is what La République du Cameroun will call infrastructure. That is what La République du Cameroun calls infrastructure. Look at those roads in Bamenda. I think that is somewhere in Meta Quarter. That is somewhere impassable roads, inaccessible roads. And yet they will tell you they want to create more councils, more divisions to ease administration, and they say they are doing it where infrastructure is available. But again, let me take you to another proper photo of Bamenda, image of Bamenda. You can see for yourself exactly how Bamenda looks like. Take a look here, ladies and gentlemen.
For years, this has been the daily reality of Bamenda residents. The roads have been so broken that cars break down, traders lose goods, and stagnant water becomes a breeding ground for diseases. The inter-urban crossing, a nearly 6.5 kilometers of stretch within the heart of Bamenda, had long turned into a symbol of neglect. Prime Minister Joseph John Goode, in a ceremony at the Veterinary Junction, officially launched rehabilitation works on the battered stretch, long delayed but desperately needed.
These works have effectively started to improve the road network in Bamenda. So the population should feel responsible towards not only those who are going to do the work, not only the administrators who are going to be supervising the work, but also when the works are completed, to make sure that these roads are kept in good order, safe.
The 26 billion 724 million francs CFA project will transform the crossing into a modern boulevard, widening the road from 17 to 30 meters, with city officials assuring that it can last for 25 years.
These projects will transform Bamenda, addressing decades of infrastructural neglect.
All right, let me stop boring you there with those liars you have on your screen. But that is how Bamenda looks like. It lies in ruins. Yet, they are telling us They want to come and fragment Bamenda where there is infrastructure. Where is the infrastructure in Bamenda? They came, I think this was April or May, and made this announcement that they are coming to expand the streets of Bamenda. And today, no work is going on there. I don't know if any work at all is going on in Bamenda. That is not all. That is not all. Look at this. This one is the road. This one is the road leading to, this is the road leading to Womb. This is the road leading to Womb. I'd like you to take a look.
The road linking Bamenda to Womb in the Menchum division of the Northwest region has been in a deplorable state for a very long time now. The people using this stretch say they have been going through untold hardship. The Archbishop of the Bamenda Archdiocese joins his voice onto those of the suffering people to decry the poor state of roads in the Menchum. His Grace Andrew Nkea questions where the funds for the construction of the road have been channeled to.
The road to Womb is bad. My one simple question is, does the government not know? And if the government knows, who do they give the contract to maintain the Womb Road every year? We must hold that person to account for the fact that the Womb Road is not well done. We must get the road of Womb to be passing.
In an interview with Boni Mua on his program, The Bottom Line, His Grace Andrew Nkea says the cost of transportation has more than doubled from Bamenda to Womb because of the bad state of the road.
Commercial vehicles don't go down to Womb anymore. Only motorbikes, and to go to Womb on a motorbike you pay 20,000 one way, and to come back you pay another 20,000. 40,000 to go to Womb and come back. And if you don't want to pay 20,000, look for somebody with whom you can double on the motorcycle. Where do you see this on earth?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, again, you are looking at the Womb Bamenda stretch of the road there. You can't go to Womb. Going to Womb, you have to cough out 20,000 francs. That is one way. One way. You cough out 20,000 francs to go, 20,000 francs to come back. That is altogether 40,000 francs. 15 years ago, I believe, it was only about 2,500 from Bamenda to Womb. But today, you have to pay 20,000 francs each way, according to the Archbishop there, from Bamenda to Womb. And you will be hearing maybe Atanga Nji will come out and say, we are fragmenting Menchum division, the way they call it. We are dividing it, we are breaking it into two to make it two divisions, a division without any access, a division without any access, no infrastructure. Let me now take you to Libialem, and you will pity the people who live in Libialem. I'd like you to take a look. What you see here.
As the governor of the Southwest region and his entourage made a tour to install senior divisional officers of different divisions of the Southwest region, he faced some difficulties due to bad roads. After installing the senior divisional officer from Manu, the convoy took off that same day through a 45-kilometer road to Menji in Lebialem division to install the senior divisional officer of this division. Passing through Tinto subdivision, on arriving a village called Etrengang in Upper Bayang Manu division, a 19-kilometer stretch to Lebialem, one of the cars belonging to the state, a gendarme car leading the convoy, got stuck on the ground due to bad road, thereby preventing all other cars in the convoy from passing. All attempts to push the car by some able men in the convoy was in vain. For more than an hour, the convoy was in the same spot. Speaking to an inhabitant of this area,
Whenever I send these people to come and work here, they'll come and do rough work and go and tell him that they have done something good, and which is wrong. They will take their money and go and eat. They are not doing something good here, so you know how to advise or to warn them to do it better next time.
After about 2 hours, when all hopes was gone, then the divisional officer for Tinto subdivision called for a caterpillar which had to clean up the mud. Now the road is open and
all right. Again, you were looking there at the stretch of road from Menji, the BLM divisional or county headquarters, heading to Mamfe town. And you saw the caterpillar there because after the governor came by and got stuck on that stretch of the road, the mayor now sent a caterpillar under rain to come and further make a mess of the road. Now you know that when it is raining and you send a caterpillar to go and do anything on those earth roads, they only mess it up, they don't fix it, because you're just helping cars to come by and again dig ditches on the road. And that is what happened in Menji. There is no outlet. You cannot leave Menji to Kumba through Mamfe or to Mamfe or to Bamenda through Widekum. You cannot. And neither can you leave Menji to Chang, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like you to take a look at this stretch of the road, which is Menji, Chang. You just saw Menji, Mamfe, impossible. Let me show you Menji, Chang. Take a look. Again, that is Menji, Le BLM, in Le BLM to Chang Road. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Even Okada cannot climb. Even Okada cannot climb. Again, you are looking at Menji, Chang Road. Menji, Chang Road in the BLM. Let's see if we can hear what the commentator is saying in this footage. Let's see.
Very bad. Carry roads. Now, our youths are suffering. Now, look at it.
All right, let's look at that again.
Here's Cameroon. We're going to Southwest. See how the youths are struggling to earn a living. It's terrible. These are the roads from, how do you call this place? The road going to Bisale, right down to the Chachi, the Lebialem. See how the way they transfer goods. Look at the roads. Young Cameroonians. Call this a red tree. Very bad. Look at the roads. Now, our youths are suffering. Now, look at it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking there at the infrastructure that Paul Atanga Nji says he wants to use to create new councils, new divisions in the southern Cameroons and the rest of Cameroon. Before I get to my talking point, I'd like to take you to one more image. Let us look at one more image before I take you into my monologue. Look at that.
Siwa Road, Bayangi, Fontemba Cover Road. See so far we use motor pump for pump water for bush. See by man. Here motor and stand for here. There is no way. I hope say we have to see which way we they go through from Fontem to Bakava. These are the road that Bayangi people can give the present government 100% for vote. I mean, now you see how people are selfish on.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching that image, you can see that citizens are literally using their own water pump to pump water out of the road. That is a machine standing there. That is a machine standing there. They are pumping the pool of rivers on the road to have access to the road. And that is a country where they want the citizens to believe they have a government. Of course, no, they don't have a government. They don't have a government. They have nothing like a government in that country. Keep on looking, please.
They are selfish on their own self. Look at their village. Look at the road that they are using. Look at. We are using by motor pump to draw water, stand in the bush before the vehicle can pass. You see the yellow car like this, I'll drink water. There's no way, the engine has knocked already. So the one, they are looking for a way to get out this car from here. See the road? Manu people, the motion of support to Mr. Pobia, telling Pobia that everything is under control. Everything is moving well, gradually. Look at, they are fighting for the young Cameroonians. These are the type of people that they don't want this country to grow. Yeah, the way you are seeing it, look at it. See your road.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the left-hand side of the video on your screen, there is a corpse. There is a corpse, a dead person who has been put by the side because the vehicle cannot carry it along. That is why they brought a water pump to drain the pool of water there to help the corpse go through the road. That is why they have a water pump there. There is a corpse that is lying on, you cannot see it right now, but I think you will see it eventually. There is a corpse on the left-hand side of that image, and that is why they are trying to drain that water and to see whether they can have a passageway down to Manfe in that video. Take a look.
On the left,
there's a corpse on the left.
So far, we use motor pump for pump water for bush.
Okay, that's a corpse. That's a corpse. That's a corpse there. You can see that.
Yeah, motor and stand for here. There is no way. I hope say when I see which way will they go through from Fontem to Bakava. These are the road that Bayangi people can give the present government 100% for vote. I mean, now you see how people are selfish until they are selfish on their own self. Look at their village. Look at the road that they are using. Look at, we are using by motor pump to draw water, stand in the bush before the vehicle can pass. You see the yellow car like this, I'll drink water. There's no way, the engine has knocked already. So the one, they are looking for a way to get out this car from here. See the road? Manu people, the motion of support to Mr. Pobia, telling Pobia that everything is under control. Everything is moving well, gradually. Look at, they are fighting for the young.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, that is the infrastructure that Paul Atanga Nji is describing and using it as a yardstick in creating more divisions or more councils in that country. You are looking there at Menji, Manfe Road. I showed you earlier Menji, Chang Road. I showed you Wum, Bamenda Road. I showed you Bamenda City itself. It is pathetic what they are trying to do in that country. And at this moment, I will now take you into my monologue for today. And then after that, I will open the phone line to take your calls. Remember, this is open mic. This is open mic. No guests. You are the only guest. You are the one to call in to contribute to the show. So after I present my talking point, I will open the phone lines for you to come in and contribute. But this is my talking point. When a regime is morally bankrupt, when it has exhausted every tool of legitimacy, and when it stands exposed before its own people as naked in deceit, it starts manufacturing gimmicks. It stops governing and instead begins performing, throwing dust in the eyes of the people, concocting cosmetic distractions, and inventing new illusions of development. That is, ladies and gentlemen, precisely what Paul Atanga Nji, Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration, has embarked on with his latest communique instructing governors to hastily propose counties or councils to be fragmented into even more administrative units and others to be upgraded into full councils. But the timing is not only suspicious, it is insulting. An election has just taken place in that country. A nation is still bleeding from the open wound of a stolen mandate. Cameroonians are still crying out for the return of the victory they know they handed to Issa Chiroma on October 12th. The people want justice, truth, transparency, and accountability. The people want their voices respected after decades of electoral fraud and theft. Instead, Atanga Nji shows up with a bag of cheap tricks, pretending that new districts and councils or divisions will suddenly soothe national anger or magically improve daily life. Isn't it? This is governance reduced to comedy. A regime selling sand to a thirsty people. Before creating more administrative units, should one not first check the state of those that already exist? Should one not ensure that councils and subdivisions currently on the ground are functional, resourced, and capable of delivering basic services? But that is not the Cameroon of Paul Biya and Atanga Nji. The Cameroon of Paul Biya and Atanga Nji cannot maintain its existing administrative map. It cannot even build the roads necessary to connect towns. It cannot equip its councils with offices, staff, or serviceable infrastructure. It cannot provide clean water, dependable electricity, reliable health centers, or functioning schools. It cannot even collect trash. Look at Bamenda, Douala, Yaoundé, and yet we are expected to believe that creating more districts or division is somehow what the people want. It is an affront to reason. Take Bamenda, for example, ladies and gentlemen, a city abandoned by its own government. Bamenda today is a shadow of itself. It does not have streets. It has trenches. It does not have roads. It has wombs. Bamenda lies like a museum piece of neglect. A physical example of what happens when a government rules by punishment instead of service. Visitors to Bamenda do not come to see a thriving city. They come to witness its decay with their own eyes. What business does a government that cannot even maintain the main arteries of its regional capitals have in creating new councils? That is a question everyone should be asking the regime. Another example, as I showed you in the images, is Libialem, a community that lives on its knees. Libialem, the home turf of Paul Tasson, one of the ministers, the government's chief apostle of emergence. There is no motorable road to Menji as you saw it, the divisional headquarters. No. The people dig their own roads with their bare hands. Transport between Menji and Chan, barely 45 kilometers, now costs 25,000 francs. 10 years ago, it cost only 2,500 under BS Operation Emergence. The cost of basic movement has multiplied by more than 15 times. That alone is a report card written in bold red ink. Things have gone from bad to worse. Yet, these same officials, Atanga Nji, Tasson, and their accomplices, will now march into the BLM to create new councils in villages of barely 2,000 people, such as Mogbit Paul Tasson's own backyard. They will replicate the trick in Menchum, Donga Mantum, Indian Manyu, Kupe Mwaneguba, and you name the rest, and the rest of La République du Cameroon. They will elevate small settlements into full council status overnight, declare it a government gift, and immediately instruct the people to vote CPDM in March as a token of gratitude. You know the game, right? Sure you know it. This is not governance. It is transactional manipulation. Transactional manipulation, pure and simple. New administrative units are not created for the people. They are created for CPDM elites. New subdivisions require new budgets, new buildings, new staff, new equipment, new recurrent expenses. If the money already exists in the state treasury, then why not use it to upgrade existing districts that have collapsed into dysfunction? Why not modernize the current councils? Why not build usable roads, modern hospitals or health centers, and livable communities? The answer is simple. Because the regime is not interested in development. It is rather interested in political pacification. These new creations are not meant for the common man. They are designed to reward CPDM elites, particularly those who rig elections in favor of the regime. They are instruments of patronage, tools for bribing local elites, mechanisms for expanding political control, political capital. Once these districts are created, the next step will be predictable. New ministers without portfolios will be appointed, so each new subdivision can boast, "We have a minister from our area too," but they have no portfolio. This is the politics of the CPDM. Politics of empty prestige, politics of illusion, politics of insulting the intelligence of the people of Cameroon. As for Ambazonia, the southern Cameroons, divide what you want. It is null and void. Let it be said without ambiguity, ladies and gentlemen. As far as Ambazonians are concerned, Paul Atanga Nji and his accomplices can divide, subdivide, fragment, and dismember the territory as much as they please. It is null and void. It is legally meaningless. It carries no weight. Ambazonians want freedom, not districts. They want liberation, not subdivisions. They want self-determination, not statistical rearrangements of Yaoundé's administrative map. Not at all. Our eyes are open, ladies and gentlemen. To the citizens of Cameroon, this moment is decisive. You must not be deceived. You must not allow yourselves to be insulted by a regime that believes your suffering can be suited with cosmetic announcements, cosmetic divisions. You must see through the fog. The CPDM is still playing the same age-old game, conning the people through distraction, pacification, and empty promises, window dressing. They are attempting to shift your attention away from the one question that truly matters. Where is the mandate you gave on October 12th? Where is the voice of the people? Where is the victory that was stolen? That is the only battle that matters now in that country, not division, new ones, not new councils, not new districts, not new subdivisions created to placate a ruling elite. This is the moment for Cameroonians, La Republicans, to rise with clarity, north, south, east, and west, to reject every diversion, to refuse every political scam, and to tell the regime in La République plainly and boldly, you want nothing but the return of your stolen mandate. You are not fooled. We will not be pacified, or you will not be pacified. You are watching, and that you will not be silenced. That is the talking point, ladies and gentlemen. I will go ahead and open the phone line first. And no, I think I will hold on to that and go to the next subject before I open the phone line. But you got the talking point there, ladies and gentlemen. What Paul Atanga Nji is trying to do, creating more division, subdivision, districts all over the place, based on the said population, land size, and infrastructure. I don't know where in that country they can boast of infrastructure. Even Yaoundé, their own capital, has no infrastructure. It has everything dirt. Dirt. Everywhere, littered everywhere, every corner of that city. And the same thing with Douala. I visited Douala, I think, the first time after about 25 years. I think that was 2016. And I got up in the morning. I desperately needed some coffee to drink. I am very fond of coffee. If I drink coffee in the morning, I can go for the whole day. I don't care about food. So I got into the hotel, got off from the hotel. We were heading to Libialem and got to the park. And I really wanted something hot to drink, either tea or coffee. And we got to the park, and I saw some hawkers selling bread, tea, and coffee, and I was so relieved. I really wanted to drink some. I walked to the place where the lady was selling it, and I couldn't buy it. I couldn't buy it. As desperate as I was to get a cup of coffee, guess why I couldn't buy it? Dirt, the stench coming out from that place. Flies everywhere. And I look at the place, I look at the environment, look at the flies jumping on every piece of bread and everything on the table. I said, well, there is no way I can buy this tea or coffee here. And I had to leave. But the point is that There is no infrastructure. They cannot even remove trash in any of the cities. They want you to believe they have infrastructure or they can build new infrastructure when common trash cannot be removed. A few days ago, I witnessed on social media a young man in Yaoundé took his camera, jumped out to the streets, and was filming the streets of Yaoundé, projecting the city as a trashy city where, I guess, there exists no municipal councillor or mayor who should take care of that trash. I see the same thing in Bamenda, the CPD and crony, the mayor of Bamenda. You go to the commercial avenue where you have traders. Traders or hawkers are sitting on top of trash to sell the meals, the food that people buy and eat. Yeah. But they want you to believe infrastructure is there. Infrastructure is there. There is no infrastructure. I wish there was a way I would tell you to say, to resist those creations of new, so-called new divisions and new councils. I wish, but you know there is nothing you can do. Because all it takes to create those things is an announcement. And you can do nothing. You can't seize the microphone. And even if you seize the microphone, they print it on paper, put it out there, it is done by decree. It is done. It is done. Because what that country needs now is not Paul Atanga Nji. It's not Ngongo. It's not Paul Biya. We know Paul Biya is not there. That's why I do not prioritize him. Because I know he is not there. He knows nothing. You don't need Paul Atanga Nji. You don't need Ngongo, Rene Sadi, Femdongo, Atasong, Gerard Deng, Gerard Garrett, and I mean you can name them. You don't need. They are supposed to be out of there. They are scavengers living on the sweat of the hard-working people of that country. The only thing that they should be doing is working out their own transition, leaving the place. The only unfortunate thing is citizens of Cameroon, I don't know, it just doesn't appear to me like they are fighters. It just doesn't. I have seen the bars movement out in the streets of Belgium and France almost on a yearly basis since the election that was stolen from Maurice Kamto. Ever since, they are on the streets of Europe, Paris, Belgium, London, and all those places protesting Cameroon. I don't know what stops them from creating an insurgency that effectively eject that regime of 43 years out of Yaoundé. Instead, they are waiting for Ambazonia to come and rescue them. How do you think we cross the Mongo and go to Bonaberi and Douala and Yaoundé and save you? How is that possible? How is that possible? Instead, if you were fighting on your side, as Ambazonia is fighting on its side, it makes the job easy. It makes it easy. You squeeze La Republique in the middle. But you apparently have no balls to take up power, to take up courage and confront your regime in Yaoundé. If you don't do it, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. I had one of my guests here the other day, Emmanuel Mote, telling us that they spoke with France, Emmanuel Macron, and they were pleading that Issa Chiroma should give Paul Biya another 3 years, so that they can then transition Issa Chiroma into the president. I heard it and I laughed in my spirit. Give Paul Biya another 3 years. 3 years to plan for the ascension of Frank Biya, isn't it? You think after 3 years they will call Issa Chiroma and say, come and take your victory. You actually won it. It was yours. We just wanted to prepare this time to have you coming. You think that is the regime that will do that, right? I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, if Biya were not to be there even within the next 3 months, nobody in that regime would think of Issa Chiroma. Not at all. they will think of Frank Biya, they will think of Ngongo, and maybe others. That is why, because we all know that Biya is as good as vegetable and is capable of doing nothing, cannot reason, he is demented, doesn't know where he is. He is not the one planning what we see in Yaoundé. He is not the one who rigged the election, who manipulated it, who defrauded it. Biya did not do that. Biya did not do that. Ngongo and the Atanga Njis, they did it. So if you think that, oh yeah, France can then after 3 years pass power to Issa Chiroma with Frank Biya seated there, Ngongo seated, even Chantal. Don't be surprised. Chantal may be on the line to succeed in Paul Biya. Don't be surprised. Because those are the three people who wield power in Yaoundé, as we were told. Chantal, Ngongo, and Femdongo, and the others. So if anybody fools you that eventually power is going to be handed to Issa Chiroma from Paul Biya peacefully, that's a lie. That is a lie. Take it to the bank. That will never happen. It will never happen. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Cameroonian, La Republique citizens, it is left for you to take the courage and the risk to stand up, rise up, overthrow that government in Yaoundé. I say it without mincing words. When a government that's supposed to protect the people, serve the people, turn against the people, it is worth rebelling against, it is worth an insurgency. No apologies. And you, Cameroonian citizens, you have that challenge. You have that challenge. I will open the phone lines for now. Call in, ladies and gentlemen, call in. And if you have any question to ask, or contribution, that would be great. Please, let's get the phone number on screen. Let's get the phone number on screen. I'd like to hear from you before I go on to the next subject. Now, the phone number is right there. Remember, the phone number you see on your screen is not the old number that I used to use for phone calls. It's a new number. So if you don't have that new number, copy that. Copy that. And while you are calling in, I will intermittently, in the course of this show, be appealing to you to support ABS financially. Ladies and gentlemen, as I come to you tonight, ABS is not on satellite on ground zero. People are not watching in Africa and in Cameroon because our satellite is disrupted for non-payment. I don't have to be shy of saying that. I'm not making any profit here. I am serving you and serving Ambazonians and Cameroonians out there. And I think that I should not be ashamed to say it is disconnected for non-payment. I'm urging you today, if you are blessed with what we do here, what I do here on almost a daily basis, you can chip in $25, $50, $100 or more to say, Comrade Chris, I really appreciate what you do on a daily basis. And let me start by appreciating those of you who chip in something over the last 2 days. I really appreciate it. Some send in $100, some send in 25, some send in 75, some send 50. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so very much. If you had given me permission, I will mention your names, but because you didn't give me permission to mention your names, I will leave it that way. But I want to appeal to the rest of you who appreciate what we do here, the information we bring to you, the education we bring to you. If you do really appreciate it, please help us, let us reconnect ABS on satellite. It is very, very critical. And I can't explain this enough. The reason we are on satellite, the reason we are not doing this on social media alone is because our target is really not you. We think you are educated enough to understand what is going on in Cameroon and in Ambazonia. But for those on the ground, I mean, you in the diaspora, you are educated enough. Secondly, you have enough resources to have enough unlimited data to stay on the internet for as long as you want. People back in Africa do not have the luxury of unlimited data to watch on YouTube or Facebook as you do. That is why we are on satellite. When they have satellite in their homes, all they need to do is download the channel, and they don't have to pay a dime to download that channel. Once they have it free. They can watch it 24/7. And you know, we broadcast 24/7. After I am done with this live show, we are still running programs on satellite 24/7, so they can watch us 24/7. That is the reason why satellite is very, very critical, ladies and gentlemen, which is why I come to you today pleading to you to please show us that you appreciate what we do here by shipping in something, $25, $50, $100. Some people are putting in $250, ladies and gentlemen. The phone number on your screen is good for Cash App. I will see, I think we have another number for Zelle, which is a 301 number. Let's see that number. This is that is the Zelle number on your screen. The Zelle number is 31. That Zelle number is also good for Cash App, so you can choose any of the numbers. If you want to send in only Cash App, you can send it on any of those numbers on your screen. But if you are doing Zelle, then you have the option of only using the 301 number. So please use your phone. Take a screenshot of those numbers, and you can use it to make your contribution. If you make your contribution while we are still live, please send me the receipt on WhatsApp with the number on your screen, and I would like to announce it, and I appreciate your support and mention you if that will be okay. So in the meantime, that number 2 on your screen is a live is an open line you can use in reaching here to make a contribution for the show. So the line is open. Go ahead and call and let me know what is on your mind, ladies and gentlemen. I am waiting for your phone call. In the meantime, as I wait for your phone calls, you have the line there again. Let me get to the second subject. Now, remember, you can call anytime. You can call anytime to make a contribution here. But let me take you to the next subject. The next subject of the day, ladies and gentlemen, which has to do with U.S. President Donald Trump. Donald Trump passing sanctions or deciding to sever relations with Tanzania. U.S. President severing relations with Tanzania. Guess why they are severing relations with Tanzania? Because of the elections. The elections of, I think the elections took place October 24, if I'm not mistaken. I'm talking about the elections in Tanzania. Please give me a moment. I will take a brief break out. And when I come back, I will resume this subject. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. I will be right back.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you find the caption on your screen. Trump severes relations over election fraud. Trump severes relations over election fraud in Tanzania. You have in front of you the president, the queen of Tanzania. When the Tanzanians went to the polls, ladies and gentlemen, last October, they thought they were voting for a president. They didn't know they were voting for a queen. And as a result, once the people realized that they were out voting for a queen, they took to the streets, property was destroyed, things, infrastructure burned, and in the course of it, the lady you find on your screen there, the queen that you find on your screen, unleashed the police and the army onto the streets. And as a result, about 1,000 Tanzanians were killed. And so on that account, Trump has said he is reviewing ties with Tanzania after the election unrest. And the story goes like this. The U.S. State Department announced last week a review of relations with Tanzania over repression of freedom of speech and religion after disputed elections marred by deadly violence. Rights groups say more than 1,000 people were shot dead during 3 days of protests over elections on October 29 that the opposition and foreign observers describe as fraudulent. Now, I want you, as you listen to me, begin to compare that with a case in Cameroon of human rights groups and foreign observers describe it as fraudulent. They describe the elections in Tanzania as fraudulent. How about Cameroon? Even more fraudulent, isn't it? Now, the U.S. State Department said that recent action by Tanzania raised grave concerns about the direction of our bilateral or their bilateral relationship and the reliability of the Tanzanian government as a partner. Now, the quote continues, as a result, the United States is comprehensively reviewing our relationship, end of quote. It added, calling violence against civilians in the days leading up to the following elections disturbing. The State Department statement also denounced Tanzania's ongoing repression of religious freedom and free speech, the presence of persistent obstacles to U.S. investment. Tanzania authorities have so far refused to release a death toll from the unrest and has asked foreign ambassadors in the East African country to refrain from commenting on it. Did you hear that? That is a woman on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. That woman is a tyrant, a despot. Tanzanians went out to the polls to vote for a president, not for a queen, the queen that she has become. Now, Tanzanian authorities have so far refused to release a death toll from the unrest and has asked foreign ambassadors in the East African country to refrain from commenting on it. The government cancelled celebrations for its December 9 National Day, when new protests were planned. The U.S. announcement came a day after Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Washington would restrict visas from the West African nation of Nigeria over persecution of Christians. President Donald Trump last month threatened military action to counter killings there. So that is the story, ladies and gentlemen. That is the story of what is happening in Tanzania vis-a-vis U.S. relations. So, but this is the reason why I am talking about this story. When you look at the case of Cameroon, is there any difference? Of course not. This woman has only been there, I think, for about 3 or 4 years. She completed the term of Magufuli because he died in power, took over, contested the elections, and then we are told over 1,000 people were killed for her to become president, to become the queen of Tanzania. But look at Cameroon. We can say this woman is just beginning. How about Cameroon? Paul Biya has been there for 43 years. I'm shocked that the U.S. is not going to do anything. Instead, Marco Rubio called Paul Biya, congratulated him. In fact, I doubt whether Paul Biya was the one who picked that phone call from Rubio. We need to know who picked that phone call. I don't think Paul Biya picked that phone call, ladies and gentlemen. Rubio probably spoke with someone who was murmuring, pretending, mimicking Paul Biya, I guess. I think that is probably what happened. I do not think Paul Biya could answer a straight call from any foreign leader or foreign dignitary in that matter. So, Paul Biya has been there for 43 years. In Ambazonia, the southern Cameroons alone, the death toll is over 30,000 people in 9 years. 9 years. I'm not including the refugees. I'm not including the towns and villages decimated. I'm not including the other refugees in La République du Cameroun from Ambazonia. They are said to be over 900,000 of them. And the USA has accommodated, only August, the USA revoked over 3,000 asylees or people seeking asylum from Cameroon in the USA. Over 3,000. Why? Because of the political situation. So I am surprised that the U.S. hasn't done what it is about doing to Tanzania, to Cameroon, considering all that we know, all what is going in there. The manipulation of the election, the rigging, the fraud, and now they are killing people on top of it. The one who won the election is now on exile. I do not know what representation Washington has in Yaoundé. I don't know whether they are not sending them the true facts of the story as obtained in that country. And I don't understand all these so-called human rights groups, the Agbobalas, the Kagwalas, and the rest who says they are human rights groups. You will recall, ladies and gentlemen, that in July, the Secretary of Homeland Security went on the media and said the reason they are canceling TPS for Cameroon is because according to their partners, the humanitarian situation and the political situation in Cameroon has improved. That begs for the question, what is the embassy in Yaoundé telling the State Department? What type of reports are these so-called human rights groups, the Agbobalas, the Kawalas, and the rest, what kind of reports are they sending to the State Department? When the U.S. says our partners, they are referring to these groups on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know that, those are their partners. Are their partners at this moment telling them Biya did not rig the elections? Are their partners and the embassy saying, oh, don't be worried, the people are okay? Well, maybe they may be right because we have not seen any uprising. Is that what their partners are telling them? That may be the case because, again, we have not seen the U.S. react in the manner that caused the Paul Atanga Nji, the Ngongos, the Femdongos, and the rest to tremble. It has not. I would expect the U.S. to say, every Cameroon minister, your visa is confiscated. Every Cameroon minister, your assets in the USA are frozen. Every Cameroon minister, you cannot travel out into the U.S. I would expect that. I would expect the U.S. to say, to even tighten up the sanctions in the first Trump administration. I would expect those sanctions to be tightened even harder. Get to the IMF, get to the World Bank and tell the World Bank you cannot give that country any dime for a loan anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, if they do that, Cameroon is gone because they cannot pay workers. Last, was it 2 days ago, we saw what happened in Yaoundé Airport. A few staff went on the rampage and protested the non-payment of their salaries. And you know what happened? The airport was shut down. No plane was landing, no taking off because of salaries. All right, let me take this caller before I get back here. Hello.
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 Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ground Zero.
Are you watching on your phone or on TV?
I'm watching on my phone, Facebook.
Okay, because I know we are not on satellite for now, for Ground Zero, but thank you for calling. What is on your mind, sir?
Yeah, I have a couple of things to tell you, very, very important. The first one is this. I still wonder why we are still depending on calling these people to help us. I want to tell you something very important about this.
Calling on which people to help us?
The UN, that is a dead organization. The USA, those are people that are operating of the satanic agenda. Because you cannot imagine a so-called world power. People are dying. They are negotiating on their own selfish interest. Look at what is happening in Ukraine. Look at what is happening all over the world. They cannot intervene. Even that sham they went to do in Nigeria is a mess. They cannot do anything because they are not there for humanity. They are there to protect their interests. When Donald Trump was coming into power, some of us were glad that a man is coming to wipe the tears of the world. But he's a mess because a man's power is a man's word. When you have military that are capable, you are not challenging the world. You are challenging the suffering of the people. So if they can sit down and just stay quiet and they intervene when they see that their interest is being threatened, it's not a powerful nation. It's a criminal nation. And then secondly, you mentioned something on the past calls. I just want to come to that. What is happening to Issa Churuma? Even although you did not solely mention on that today, I want to tell you, this man has made the people on the ground to lose love, passion with his activity, because a leader doesn't operate like that. The man is so dormant, so inactive. A leader has to come in. He doesn't fight, but you update the people. You encourage the people. You tell the people what to do. Look at the man that was supporting him, died. He just stayed silent. What is his own power on the ground? You look at the ghost town that he's giving now. I want to even say this. We should change our own system by stopping or empowering the ghost town, because the government is instead using it to be having things in their home. They are using it to feed themselves. This is what you people have not yet understood.
What do you mean by that? Explain, please.
I mean, what I mean by empowering them, they are using it to enrich themselves, to collect money that they have not leveled for, to buy things for themselves and to stock it. They cannot say it's benefiting them. The ghost town is benefiting the government more than us. And so we have to change the system. Because look at, I really appreciate the Cameroon government. When they say something, they are doing it. When we will say something, we don't do it. Please, we need to empower our power arms on the ground. We need to change the strategies. We need to recruit more people on the ground, because if we continue with this system, Cameroon government is not going to change. They do their plan, they fulfill their plan, they enact their plan, and they achieve what they want to achieve. See, more people will still keep on dying because they don't have time for you. No development. If you go to Kupe Maniguba, you are not even showing the road. You are not showing the road. Go there, you will see how the people are crying every day, and this is a government that doesn't care about anybody. It doesn't care about its population. It is a mess. So if we have to stand, we should stand strong. We should change, we should be dynamic in action. Not keep on doing one and the same thing. It doesn't work.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. Hello.
Yes, hello, Comrade Chris.
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you very much, comrade, for your support to ABS. Very much appreciated. I know you are calling from Texas. Yeah.
It's my pleasure, Comrade Chris.
Thank you.
I want to. Are you confused about why the United States would sever ties with Tanzania and not with Cameroon?
Maybe you tell me.
Well, comrade, you have to understand that Cameroon, as well as Amazonia, by Cameroon, I'm saying La Republic Cameroon, as well as Amazonia, Paris has a lot of interest in these territories. I mean, you know, that's where they have lots of their resources coming from.
The British don't have interest in Tanzania?
No, the British, we were talking about France, they do. But the United States, that's a genuine question you ask, because it seems like the United States doesn't want to interfere in French interests, because it doesn't make any sense for the United States to condemn the same thing which is happening in Cameroon, in Tanzania, and not in La Republique. But if you ask me about the British, then it's the same logical argument. I really don't know how to say it. If they don't want to hurt the French, so why are they not doing the same with the British? Maybe I'm looking at it. Do the British don't have the same stake in Tanzania as the French have in Amazonia and in La Republique du Cameroon?
And hold on there. Hold on there.
Yes.
I don't know whether you guys have observed one thing. East Africa, talking about Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, these were British colonies, right? But you realize that the English influence in East Africa is barely visible. But in West Africa, talking about Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, the British influence is huge. I don't know why it is so.
Absolutely.
Is it that?
Now I can answer that question.
Is it that the East African countries asserted their rights, their freedoms more than those in West Africa, or what?
It is because the way the British gave independence to their colonies is different from the way the French gave independence to its own colonies. When France gave independence to its colonies, when they were leaving, it was not a true independence. The way the British gave independence to its colonies was more fair than the way the French did. The French did not give political, economic and military independence to its colonies. Now, look, another thing is you have to understand that the French economy is a fake economy. It's an economy which is based on the extraction of mineral wealth from its former colonies. It doesn't have a true industrial economy like Germany, like Britain does. Its economy is based on exploitation, on exploiting its former colonies. So look at what they said to Issa Chiroma, that he has to I heard another comrade saying the other day that he has to concede Amazonia, as if Amazonia is just some territory without people living in it. That they have to, if he wants presidential aspirations, he has to give away Amazonia. You know, so I mean, the thing is the way these people, the way independence was granted. France sees La République and Amazonia as its own by proxy, you know, in another way. So if we look at it that way, and America knows this. America knows that, you know, going too deep into Cameroon or in Amazonia, they will be hurting French interests, and not so much that will be hurting British interests if they go to Tanzania.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it, comrade.
All right. Well, let's hope that luck smiles on Cameroon as it is smiling on Tanzania one of these days.
We hope so.
Thank you for the call, sir.
Thank you, comrade. Thank you.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the phone line is still open. I still have about 10 minutes before I call it a night. And while I wait for your calls, I also want to appeal to you once more to help us get ABS restored on satellite on ground zero. At the moment, satellite is not running. You are watching us right now on the social media only. We are not on the satellite. And you know the value of what we bring to ground zero through satellite. Again, they cannot watch us. Many of them cannot watch live on the social media as you in the diaspora do, because they don't have the data. It's a luxury to have enough data to watch from Africa. That's why satellite becomes very, very critical. They don't have to pay for it. They have it on their satellite, they download it, and they watch it 24/7 without paying a dime. So, considering the importance of the crusade that we are into or have been into for the past 9 years, you can imagine the importance of information. Information is power. Again, information is power, ladies and gentlemen. You see any organization, whether a political organization or a social organization, whatever it is, one of the critical arms of every organization is communication. Communication. And I think ABS in this Amazonian and Cameroon struggle is more than an AK-47. It is more than a launcher, ladies and gentlemen. I remember, I wish I still had that phone with that audio. Issa Chiroma called me, that was just before the elections, and I had not spoken to him for a long time. But he called me this, I think it was morning, I was still in bed. And he said, Chris, I said, yes. I knew he was the one calling because I had his number, but I had not called him for a long time. But I guess he didn't know. He didn't think that I was going to know. He was the one calling. So he said, Chris, of course, I heard his voice, and I knew he was the one calling. So about 30 seconds into our conversation, he said, Chris, you know the way he talks like a comedian, right? He said, Chris, you this man, if you know the trouble that you gave us. I started laughing. I was like, trouble? He said, yes. I said, what trouble? He said, the things that you say you caused the government to tremble. And I asked him, was this only you in your communication ministry, or was this the government? He said, the entire government. They were every time they were worried when you come out and speak. But that is to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that as we hear in the written word, that the pen is mightier than the sword. The pen is mightier than the sword. In electronic communication, we say the microphone is mightier than the launcher, than an AK-47. The microphone is stronger, powerful, more than an AK-47 or a launcher. That is what we have. I can pride myself in that we have very successfully done that for the past 9 years. We did that thanks to the help of some of you. ABS is just about, I think, about 4 years or over 4 years old when I left ABC and created this. We have done our best to make Ambazonia strong. But I come to you to appeal for your help because our satellite is down. We need to pay for it to get it restored. Please, I'm pleading to you. The number you have on your screen is good for Cash App also. That number is good for Cash App. And if you are in Europe, and you would like to do a PayPal payment, because you guys in Europe, you do not have Zelle, no Cash App. If you are in Europe and you can do PayPal, all you will need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is go to absafricatv.com, absafricatv.com, to the website. Once on the website, you will see on the top right column, donate. You hit on that donation button and it will open to PayPal and you are able to donate to ABS. Please show us that you appreciate the labor that we put out here. It is not because we look forward to gaining anything. In fact, we're not making profit here. If we were making profit here, of course, we would expect the satellite to be paid. But we're not making any profit here. We're not making any gains here. Rather, we are working for posterity. One day, I remember when Professor Anyangwe used to say, Chris, you are the cocodem of Ambazonia. For those of you old enough to understand who a cocodem was a journalist in Nigeria during the Biafra War, whose voice was as powerful as a launcher. As powerful as a launcher. And Professor Anyangwe said again and again, Chris, you are the cocodem of Ambazonia. And that is for real, ladies and gentlemen. That is for real. That is what I do here. That is what ABS does here. But we can only do it with your support. We need the satellite back up. Again, the number is there on your screen. You want to make a Cash App donation, that number on your screen is good. You want to make a PayPal donation, if you are not in the USA, anywhere else, go to the website absafricatv.com and click on the top right side, the donate button, and it will take you to PayPal to donate. But if you want Zelle, this other number, the 301 number, is good for Zelle. It is also good for Cash App. It is also good for Cash App. Please, that is my plea to you tonight. Chip in the best you can. Chip in the best you can. If it is $100, if it is $250, if it is $25 or $50, it adds up. And with that, we can make sure that we restore the satellite, possibly by tomorrow, if the funds come in. So, that is that. Again, I have 5 more minutes to be here. If you can call, if you have a contribution to make, to contribute to the show, or you want to contribute to assist ABS, please go ahead and do that. And if you make a payment, send a receipt also on that very number so I can acknowledge you as you do that. In the meantime, the phone line is open for your input. Remember, this is open mic. And by the way, I got a very, very interesting show tomorrow. You don't want to miss tomorrow. It is going to be very, very thought-provoking, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be very, very, very interesting. I want you not to miss this show tomorrow. It will start on time, 8 p.m. Amber time, which is 1 p.m. Central time here in Texas, and 2 p.m. Eastern time in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the absence of any cause, I can only keep on pleading to you, pleading to your conscience, to help ABS get back on satellite with a small donation of 25, 50, 100, 150 to anything, ladies and gentlemen, that you can support ABS with. Please use the phone number on your screen for WhatsApp, and you can also use this 301 number for Zelle. Just use your phone and screenshot that information on your screen, and you can use that to make a donation to us. You realize, ladies and gentlemen, not many calls are coming in because ground zero, Africa, is not watching this show. And that's why you realize calls are not coming in, because nobody in Africa is watching at the moment. The satellite is down. We need to restore it, and that is why I am appealing to you. Help us. Help support us to restore ABS on satellite. It is very critical. The moment is very important for us. Thank you very much. All right. In the absence of any calls, I probably will call it tonight here today. But I look forward to coming back tomorrow. With a very, very inspiring and informative news talk. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. God bless
Contact
you.
our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team.
Then it's smart. Muniting fenge. Usari maribo. Wose se ku Joseph Woraboy. 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 Joseph Oraboy. I'm worried about BT. What teacher? Oma Sende. I'm one year seven. Oma Sende. I'm in the UK. Mambenevan. Chinebenembe. Oma Sende. The soft floppies. Ako. Oma Sende. Mama Toto. Menga minute boy. Oma Sende. Toto. Menga minute boy. Oma Sende. Bima Toto. Menga minute boy. Oma Sende. Toto. Menga minute boy. Oma Sende. Bima Toto. Menga minute boy. Oma Sende. Toto. Menga minute boy. Oma Sende. Seseku. Tabanyankal. Oma Sende. Kamojo. Oma Sende. Seseku. Abidjan. Oma Sende. Ayo. Oma Sende. Akwatigaba. Asankomo. Oli. Oma Sende. Sefa Warabe. Oma Sende. Akwatigaba. Bisongan. Ongwena. Oma Sende. Sefa Warabe. Oma Sende. Ima Toto. Menga minute boy. Oma Sende. Toto. Menga minute boy. Oma Sende. Ima Toto. Menga minute boy. Oma Sende. Toto. Menga minute boy. Oma Sende. Ima Toto. Menga minute boy. Oma Sende. Toto. Menga minute boy. Oma Sende. Joseph,